Hi, welcome to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
And I'm John.
Today we're bringing you an Armada video. Hello and welcome to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
And I'm John.
Hi and welcome to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
I'm John. Welcome to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And this is episode 1 of our Battletech campaign.
Hi and welcome to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
And I'm John.
And, well, we're gonna try and come back now. We are clearly social distancing ourselves.
Welcome to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And as you can see, we got a new place we're recording. Welcome to Ion Radio. I'm John.
I'm Ken.
And today we are starting with the Clone Wars.
Begun the Clone War has.
Welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
Hi, and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And today, Ken and I not only have matching color shirts, we have matching fighter builds. Welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And today we have Alpha Strike for you.
Hi and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
I'm John. Welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken. Hi and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
I'm John. Welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
Hello, and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And today is a very special episode for us. We are celebrating our 3rd anniversary on YouTube.
That's right. Back in November of 2019, we began this fun venture, and we didn't really expect it to get this big, and we've got a lot of content out for you guys. So we kind of wanted to take 1 week to just celebrate with you guys this and show you some of the fun things that have happened.
Yep. So what we have done is we've asked our Discord, we've asked our Patreon members, we've asked our YouTube for some of their favorite events, and we're going to go over some of the favorite things for both of us that have happened on our channel. So let's take a look at something that our channel is most known for.
That's right. Quick look. And then it's a crit, correct? So, let's see what we get. Ha! There is the structural damage, folks.
And it begins. Okay, and then I move speed 2, running right into you. You get Gorel's honored and take a crit.
Structural damage, yet again.
It's the only one that likes to pop up. And I trigger ATPs.
Alright, so let's do the... God bless America, another structural damage for the proton torpedoes. Alright, so yeah, I'll salvo you back. So let me take the crit. Crit is structural damage, of course. Might as well burn the redirect. So there's 1, and then take 2, and we've got a crit in there?
Yep.
Structural damage, because it's always a structural damage, John. Always a structural damage.
APT is the hull zone with the most remaining shields loses all of its shields. Projector misaligned. Let's see how it's going to try to kill my ship this time. Oh man, I stacked my deck. Projector misaligned. So that's the rear shields.
And then we get another crit. And the crit is... Projector misaligned, so the hull zone with the most remaining shields loses its shields. I think I only have the one with 1.
Because there's no matter what, I will take that. Okay. So we're gonna ram you, kill you, and then land at speed 2.
So we know
for sure that one and that guy.
And then I get to do this, and while I'm thinking about it, we get this gets hit, that dies.
Yep.
Okay. Then you land on the asteroid, I get to take the crit. Oh, I'm sorry to do this to you, John. Projector misaligned.
Yeah.
There go the front shields. Range,
we're at medium range, so you can cancel out a die.
Cancel out a die.
So this isn't going to happen unless... Yeah, this isn't going to happen. It might.
So we're going to cancel the double. And that leaves what?
Does the crit kill you?
So 3 hits and it doesn't matter what is the crit. Oh, this is going to be fun. So the crit is, drum roll, son of a structural damage.
Oh, man.
Well, that actually will take that particular ship out.
Who would have thought Ken drew so many structural damages?
Yeah, and there was, I think, 2 or 3 episodes where I drew 3 or 4 of them. And one of them that we saw, we were wondering if I, couldn't pull all of them out of a deck, but a couple of projector misaligned for you too. But
that's both of our least favorite critical effects. I don't know how many games I've lost on the channel that are directly related to projector misaligned.
And how many times have you had like that gargantuan roll where that last one for me is structural damage just to get at that last one that it needs, or that final crit is the structural damage that goes one over, right?
Yeah. So for me, it's to the point now that I just kind of expect Ken to always draw as structural. So here's one of our favorite moments between ourselves, and then also mentioned by our Patreon and some people on Discord as one of their favorite moments. And it was the first time we ever became a meme on Reddit.
Let's take a look. And for good measure, I think I'm going to salvo back.
Okay.
So salvo is 2 reds and a black. For 2 hits and a crit. So breakfast foods. Clearly we're known for breakfast foods.
Would have thought Ken's rolling doubles.
Yeah, well, it's... Go figure. You gotta love how YouTube algorithm sets up things with the closed captioning in the weirdest of ways. And I remember the first time I saw this clip, I think you sent it over to me, where John was saying that this is our channel, right? That's on the Reddit, a picture of it. And we go and we look and we're like, yeah, it was really funny, and we were definitely amused, and it meant a lot to us to actually see someone make a meme out of one of our videos. That was a lot of fun.
It was one of the first times that we actually got mentioned on Reddit, that it wasn't us posting about our own videos.
So, huge shout out. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the people that love that particular meme.
Okay, speaking of memes, one of my favorite things that I was able to do on the channel, and again, our Patreon and our YouTube people also said this was one of their favorite things, is the meme fleet that I flew as many Z95s.
Oh, this one.
In a fleet with Blount that I could. Being able to activate all of them, which is actually where the challenge came in.
It really did, and I remember that when you brought this fleet to the table, you're like, this is the one thing I want to do, Ken. The one thing is activate all of them in one turn. And did he do it? Let's take a look.
Then I have, for fighters, I have Lieutenant Blount, who should get a higher rank for how many he is commanding today. And then I have 17 Z95 Headhunters. So the whole goal is, in one glorious turn, I will activate all these squadrons. Okay, so here is my fleet. Everything's going speed 2. I just dropped a bunch of fighters down, because that's all I need to do. Start of the turn. This Pelta is going to spend this squadron token. To activate all fighters, follow me. This might be the only time I've ever used it. And actually getting some value out of it because I have to move so far with all the squadrons. We're going to start then with this guy back here. He's revealing a squadron. Here's the turn, people. It's happening! So I get 2. Plus I've expanded Hangar Bay, which means I get 3. Plus, because I'm only going to use the dial as it, Leia says I get another one, so I can activate 4 squadrons. Okay. Next we have squadrons. So 2, expanded hangar 3. Leia says I get 4. And we're going to just start flying some Z's forward. Now we're on to the Pelta. The Pelta's revealing squadrons. When I reveal this, Antilles says that I get a token. So I get a token. That's my fighter me, follow me. So I have 3, and then with expanded hangars I get 4, and then with Leia I get 5. Here we go. Leia. She is revealing Squadrons. Her ship has 3, plus 1 with expanded hangar bay, plus 1 because of her for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that.
Oh, the squad.
5.
Yeah.
It's working. Anakin screaming. Okay, cool. Success. Oh man. Yeah, there's so many Z95s. I have more Z95s than any human should probably ever do. And to answer the question is it's not good. It ended up winning the game, but not because they were good at it. It's because we just passed.
That was the weirdest. Well, plus mine was equipped to go after the Squadrons video game.
Yes.
So they were built as weird meme fleets anyways, but that was a fun battle, and I remember I got excited when you were able to pull that off in that one turn. So
yeah, like when we were maneuvering it, I just did not actually take into account how much space I actually needed to fill it in. I think when I was maneuvering it so I could activate everything, I had like a space in between my 2 ships. I'm like, I'll fill it in. Oh, I'm out of room.
Yeah. A lot more Squadrons on the table than I think you've ever had before.
It's the most you can possibly get.
That is true. So we're back, and all I got to say is that was a lot of Z95s on the table.
It actually becomes really difficult to control. And so, like, as much as this is like a meme fleet of, oh, look what this is.
I actually had a lot of fun playing. The fleet I had was garbage, but I had fun playing it.
Tell me about it. So, just for you at home, this is how I was rolling. This is how I get the red dice to sometimes work. Yeah, baby!
Hey,
I got a double. That's how I'm rolling red dice from now on. So we don't just play Armada on this channel. We also play other things. We haven't gotten into it in a while because of time restraints and everything, but we also play Battletech.
That's right, and we're going to go back to our campaign that we did for Battletech, and our 3rd episode in particular, because there was something that happened there that doesn't usually in Battletech. Let's take a quick look.
Physical attack. We're throwing 2 punches into the Battlemaster. I need 7s to hit for 7 damage. They're punches, so they're each individual rolls. Here we go. That is a miss. And that's a hit.
Yep. All right, so let's see.
7 damage on a roll of a d6. Of course, that hits your head.
Yes, it does. That's a head hit. On the back of the Battlemaster. You said 7?
7. Did I just punch out a head of a Battlemaster?
You just killed the Battlemaster by taking out the head.
Wow.
You punched it hard enough to get the head, and it's gone.
Wow! Boom!
The likelihood of you doing that was so infinitesimally small. And it happened anyways. I mean, your grasshopper went up like right afterwards.
Like fire.
But a perfectly brand new Battlemaster gone in one shot. And it was just enough damage, if I recall the rolls correctly.
Yeah. It was one of those things I'm like, I might as well do it. And didn't expect it actually to do anything. But it did.
Yeah.
And
it did.
Not only is it one of our favorite moments, it is one of our collaborator channels, DFA's. It's his favorite moment that we had on the channel.
Yes, poor Mac and Cheese was knocked out pretty good that day. At work.
It was cool. I really enjoyed it. I mean, of course, the most vivid battle in my mind is the most recent, the last one you guys did, the Take and Hold, I believe, and the sort of the downtown region. You know, little mechs jumping on buildings, big mechs just blowing up all over the place. I think somebody got head killed. Didn't the Battlemaster get head killed from the back? Maybe punched in
from behind.
God, that's awful. Awful way to die. You don't even know it's coming. Just
No.
all of a sudden, there's just a hand sticking out the Battlemaster's cockpit.
Pretty much. So one year we decided to have a little bit of fun on that special day, the 1st of April. And we still did some Star Wars, and it was definitely some fleet battles, but a little bit of a change-up.
We found Ken's old collection of a different game that's not quite as good, but was still a lot of fun.
So let's take a quick look.
Hi, welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And today of Special Days, we have a special game for you. We're going to be playing a 300-point game, including some huge ships and no commanders.
That's right. So today I'm going to bring an Imperial fleet. We're playing, did we say 300 points?
Yes.
So 300 points. I'm bringing in the Super Star Destroyer, the Executor class, and John, what are you bringing?
I have a Viscount Dreadnought.
Cool. So Rebels over here. So let's take a look at the fleets and then see how this plays out.
Okay, so here is my fleet. I have a special fleet command option board, which is cool. It's ages 12 plus. And then I have a Moncom. Your light in the background really threw me off.
It's ages 12.
Here we go after deployment. I have my Rebels set up here. In this scenario, the Rebels, or the light side, has to deploy first. So I have my Viscount, I have my home one, and I have the Millennium Falcon. All my fighters are in reserve in the hangar bays, ready to launch later in the round.
So I have a couple more ships to deploy. As you can see, I've got the Super Star Destroyer here, my ISD. I want to try and keep my big ships going after his small Mon-Cal cruisers. Interdictor's hiding in the back. He can't take as much damage. And then I got Slave 1 as the only other ship that I can have out. And then all my TIE fighters and bombers are sitting in hangar bays waiting to go.
Okay, so normally each round we would roll a d20 for initiative, but because Ken has the Interdictor, it gives him a special ability that says that he automatically wins the first round. So that means I have to go first.
That's
I
right.
will start with my Viscount and go 1 forward.
Well, we're back, and if you guys haven't figured out by now, this is clearly an April Fool's prank bat rep kind of thing.
So Ken apparently heavily invested back in the day to the Star Wars miniature starship battles, and is this like the first time you've actually played a full game?
Yes, this is the first time I've played a full
First
game.
time on the channel. We might drop a learn to play later.
Yeah, right. Let's see. This game originally came out in 2006.
Yeah.
So 15 years
I remember when this game came out, and I thought it looked so cool, and the models were so detailed and awesome, and they're all completely warped. So Ken and I are both age 12 and up, and we're allowed to play that game. And not only that, I believe the game itself was over 12.
Yeah, I think that game came out maybe early 2000s, 2003 or something like that. And I just remember when it first came out, and the hype for it was all this greatness because everyone wanted this fleet game. And about 15 years later, we finally got Star Wars Armada. So
Which is the game we've always wanted.
yes, it's a great game. It's lovely. Mwah. But, you know, we had to throw that one in there. I don't think anyone was really expecting us to throw out a video on a Thursday. And there was so many people that enjoyed being able to see it. We got a lot of laughs. And for us, it was just fun to do something a little different.
So our next clip is recommended to us by MC Sweet Tea. And
He's one of our Patreon members.
He's one of our Patreon members. And this is actually his fleet that gets wrecked. Like that. So that's going to be 4 reds, 3 blues, base, plus spinal, which is an additional 1. And we're going to try to punch through and try to kill this gladiator straight out. We'll see how that works, though.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible. That is a lot of dice, though.
Yes, it is. Let's see. You have what?
No blanks on your red dice today, John.
I know. No, this roll.
This roll, yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're gonna definitely target that. And then we're gonna put in, with the concentrate fire, a blue dice. And then I'm gonna Kalen and Sholin all the blue dice. I need a crit to come up. Preferably 2. We're gonna block that. And I think I'm gonna kill you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a
No,
crit.
I think it depends on the crit. So we are going. This is my side, right?
Yes. Heavy ion emplacement.
Redirecting to the front. Okay, so heavy ion placement kills 1 off on each, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
front.
you might have me. 1, 2, 3. Now I take 8, right? So 2.
So I have XI7, so you can only redirect 1.
I didn't see that. 1, 2, and then yeah, that's enough to wipe out demo. 3, 4, 5, 6. Dead.
It's a mean Mom Karen and would like to speak to Screed, your manager. So, we're going to preface this that Gladiator demo came in and absolutely wrecked my MC30. And as revenge, Karen, Mom Karen, decided to ask for Screed, who was the manager, who wasn't available, so instead I just immediately destroyed demo.
What I think is funny is usually, John, your rolls are well below average, and this one kind of made up for maybe 3 episodes.
Every now and then they spike super, super high.
I seem to recall off camera about 16 times checking the dice saying, "Are you sure these aren't mine?" But I remember that, and it was just, I couldn't believe that roll hit. Because I think I actually, in my mind, if I recall correctly, said to myself, I'm going to be able to take 1 hit. Maybe not.
This ain't guarantee that something's going to go bad. Here's whenever you're like, don't worry, I'll be fine.
I think I may have actually...
Because I said that about the MC30, and it didn't work out well.
And I think I actually said, well, you're not going to kill this, so I'm going to do this instead. So, word of advice to everyone that plays Armada, whenever you're about to roll dice, your opponent's about to roll dice, don't suggest that it's not going to work or that it will, because the exact opposite will happen. And when you try to do that reverse psychology, the dice betray you. That's what we've learned. So, mix weight, 251. Thank you so much for your recommendation, because this one really had us laughing good.
So one of my favorite things that we do on the channel is every now and then I just give Ken full control of doing whatever he wants with editing. Let's take a look.
The Clone Star Fleet is under siege. Dozens of Republic warships have been destroyed in surprise attacks that leave no survivors. Rumors spread about a new, terrible separatist weapon. In the face of growing fear, the Jedi Council...
What are you doing?
Narrating, General. I do this every week.
But I'm Yularen.
That's right. Okay, well, we'll scrap that. Welcome to IN Radio, guys.
I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
And he comes up with this great gem of stuff just like this.
Yeah, well, I forget what made me want to do this. And I think what happened is we were discussing about actually doing Clone Wars for a campaign. And I got it in my head.
For like 2 years.
Right, and we had a couple different concepts. We finally agreed to a rule set that we actually enjoyed. And you should totally check that out, because it's done. So let us know what you think of that. But we wanted to add a little something special. And part of that was to make it feel like the Clone Wars cartoon, hence the Commanders. And I figured what better thing to do than to try and pretend to be Tom Kane and give an intro. So, of course, there was one episode where Yularen happened to be in it. And we had that meme with Anakin talking to Yularen. And it just kind of fit into our odd sense of humor. So I'm glad you enjoyed that, John. I know a lot of the people at home have.
And our final clip that we have for you today is from our holiday special of how many Christmas tree ISDs we could get on the table.
Let's take a look and find out. Hi, and welcome to IN Radio. I'm Ken.
I'm John.
And, well, I guess Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, because this is our Christmas special episode.
Yes,
and
it is.
Today happens to be Christmas. Well, viewing it.
From the future to the past to the present.
So, John, what are we doing today?
So I had this great idea. What do you call a Star Destroyer when you kit it out?
You call it a Christmas tree, John.
So today we have our ISD Christmas tree special. So we're playing 600 points, and the rules are no squadrons, and it has to be an ISD variation.
So each one of us has 4 ISDs on the table. We're playing 600 points. This will probably go quick. Yeah, so I am using Tarkin.
New Tarkin.
New Tarkin, because, yeah, Tarkin.
I'm using Vader because I didn't know what I really wanted to do because I usually do squadrons.
True.
So.
Yeah, this will be interesting for you because you're not using Sloane and you don't have any squadron balls.
Yes.
So let's... But there you have it. Any other last thoughts on this, John, other than the fact it was 600 points and there's 8 Star Destroyers on the table at once?
Yeah,
which is
pretty
cool.
insane. No, I think that's about it. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. I hope you enjoyed our holiday special. If you want to do us a Christmas gift, hit subscribe for us.
John, I don't recall us ever having a holiday special, or...
I don't think the holiday special's canon.
I don't think so. So, yeah, let's just move on.
Speaking of canon, though, there was a lot of shots that took place in that game.
Dice. And just having 8 Star Destroyers, first of all, on the table was insanity. Was that all the Star Destroyers? Do we have one more? I think we got one more.
I think that's all of them that I own. You might have one more.
I think I might have one more.
But we put pretty much all of our Star Destroyers out on the table,
right,
all at the same time.
Yeah, and we had 2 big battles, or 2 commanders, or 1 commander on each side. And just ran the gamut with a whole bunch of different...
You can't really escape, because 4 Star Destroyers pretty much take up the entire side of the board.
They really do. And I think what was interesting was it just like a wall of clouds covering a blue sky, of nothing but darkness and Star Destroyers, and so many of them just went away. And I think you hit the nail on the head with during the episode where you said, what better way to celebrate Christmas than what do you call a Christmas tree thing? An ISD. So, well, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree. It needed a Santa hat, but nonetheless, a fun game, big game. I think that might have been one of our first big games.
Yes, it was.
So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Go back and check it out if you haven't already. So the first question that we tend to get quite often is, how did all of this start? So John, I'll let you kind of answer that question. How did Ion Radio start?
So Ion Radio started, there was a time period that it was just after the last Worlds that took place, so it was like 2019. And at the time, there wasn't really anyone doing battle reports, and I was interested in possibly recording it, but I needed someone to do it with. So Ken is the person that I suckered into starting this adventure with me, and he's been stuck with me for 3 years.
It's funny, he says suckered, and that was the word that came to mind. But anyways, keep going, John.
So Ken and I had actually met and done recording previously at a local game store, Greenfire Games. Ken was there, and they were recording it. I saw it on YouTube because I was always checking things. And I ended up looking up where it was and asking who it was, and it was a block away from me. I could walk there if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So one day I showed up with a fleet. They introduced me to Ken, and that's how we met. And we have a couple games that are still on YouTube from Greenfire.
Yeah.
That is our initial starting point of recording. Sadly, that game store closed down, and then Ken and I became friends, obviously, through that. So we decided, we've already done some of this, let's just do it together in a new platform and make our own channel.
And so you guys are now seeing the results of what's happened there over the last 3 years. And I know for me it's been a rather fun journey to kind of do that in terms of, you know, the recording process and the presentation of the games.
Because we had 0 experience in any of this starting.
Yeah, and from earlier in this episode, you can kind of see where we started and kind of where we've gone to.
Okay, so another question that we get asked all the time is, where do we get our nifty logo from? Or how did we come up with the idea for it?
So a lot of it came down to, first of all, this is made by William Cazares, who's a local artist. So Will, thank you very much for creating this logo. We initially were trying to figure out how we wanted to present a channel. And this came in with the title Ion Radio, and John, I'll ask you about that in a little bit. But once we settled on the title of Ion Radio, we had to come up with a good logo. We liked the idea of the tower, and we always liked the idea of kind of like an orbiting, a planet orbiting. I think it started with the original Lego like space thing with the
when we were doing our rough drafts.
We were doing some rough drafts. If you see some of the rough drafts we did versus what Will did, I mean,
not an artist.
Yeah, me neither. But, you know, we decided this would be kind of fun. It's different. It's not necessarily directly related to any sci-fi in general. And really, this is kind of something that we feel represents what we're doing. We're broadcasting out our vision of what these battle reports should be. And for us, we would like to watch what we're presenting. And that's kind of one of our key mantras here on Ion Radio is this is what we're going to present to you what we would want to watch.
Couldn't agree with that more.
So then the other question we do get asked quite a bit, and this is what I alluded to earlier, is, John, why Ion Radio?
Okay, so Ion Radio, Ken and I had to come up with a name for the channel that wasn't related to anything else. Because as you can see, we mainly play Armada, but we play Battletech, and we also play Legion, and we're not limiting ourselves to any specific genre of sci-fi. So we came up with this idea that it could be intergalactic
operatives or something
Operation
like that.
Network Radio, kind of like you're sitting on the far front of a distant battlefield like in Starship Trooper, and you're turning on your propaganda radio, and what's coming in? Ion Radio, talking about the battle reports.
It's funny because I'm having flashbacks right now that you're bringing this up to our initial conversations before we started. And this was like 3-4 months before we got anything started to be filmed, and we were coming up with ideas on what we wanted to do and how do we make a title. And then going one step beyond that was what did we want to see, and then we kind of came up with the format that we have today.
So the last question is, that we get asked all the time is, what other type of games do you play, Ken?
So I play all kinds of different things. Clearly, I play Star Wars Armada. I'm a big older wargamer, so you'll see things like Starfleet Battles is in my list of games I play. Victory at Sea is another one that's relatively recent, but I also play Bolt Action, tons of World War II games. And I go to the other side of the spectrum, everything from Ticket to Ride to Takanoko and Settlers of Catan, etc. I love them all. So I just enjoy playing games in general. Win or lose doesn't really matter to me. I get the enjoyment out of sharing a social experience with other people. And actually, that's one of the things I love about what we do here, is I get to spend a lot of time with you, John, and we get to have a lot of fun. And, you know, hanging out with your friends is a good thing. And that's something I enjoy. What about you, John? What other games do you play?
Well, right now my life's super busy, so pretty much what I play is what you see on the channel. But one of the games that I really enjoy playing, it's one of the last games that we got together, is Star Trek Ascendancy.
Oh, I love that game.
Pretty much I'm into anything sci-fi. I have too much Battletech, I have tons of the Mech Warrior cliques. Anything that Ken brings over to play, I'll play. I'm not really limited. I do very much so enjoy Napoleonic era games. Doesn't really fit in with Ion Radio because there's no ions really invented yet or discovered or radio, so that's kind of a hard push for the channel. But I love Napoleonic era.
Napoleonics are cool. They're a lot of fun. I love those older battles where you're moving entire groups of guys. Those are fun. I did not mention Twilight Imperium, one of my all-time favorite games as well.
I was actually surprised when you did.
You know, it's just, I'm getting old, John, and I forget things. That's what happens. But maybe one day you and I don't think we've ever played TI before, have we?
We have not.
We'll have to make a change of that.
So we would both like to give a big thank you to everyone that watches our videos, subscribes to us, is on our Discord, is a Patreon member of us. Interaction with you has helped us keep going and keep making content for this channel.
Definitely. I think the best joy that we've got as content creators is the interaction we have with all of you. We love the support. We love we get good criticism too. And we are constantly striving to improve what we do here for your enjoyment. And we wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy this also. This has kind of been a fun hobby in a realistic sense.
Yes. So we look forward to bringing more content to you into the future. Here's to another 3 years.
All right, until next time, I'm Ken.
I'm John.
And who knows what will be in the future here on Ion Radio.
I think John should fly in one of the Who's the Boss tournaments, and then get that perfect Radis drop with like an Imperial fleet or a heavy duty Republic spat fleet or something.
Yeah, that would be fun. Or just drop the Providence. Do you know how fun a Providence would be if you could just drop it in the opponent's face? Because a Providence is just like an upticked MC75, and they're one of my favorite things to drop on people. Like, just drop a Providence, just boom, right in the middle of the play table would be amazing. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think also we were just talking about spoilers. You guys have to pay attention to our next podcast that we're going to be dropping soon, episode 2. But we literally were talking about how fun it would be to drop a Providence with Radis. Bam! I'm dropping a Providence with Radis.
within 24 hours. Here's the option.
Oh man!
You spoke it into existence, John.
I honestly did. Do I just take full credit for that? I think I do, right?
Actually, I'm going to wind up burning the dial unnecessarily, but we will land over Lando. Hence his name, clearly. Land on Lando. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, well,
Let's add one more extra detail. I'm going to paint in some of these droids. I'm going to start with the Y-Wing, make this one red. You can make them whatever color you want. Again, you've been thinking up what the different pilots are, what their missions are. Why not think up what the droids look like too? You can give them names. Maybe that'll help you figure out what color you want to paint them.
we're going to scrub the brush, odorless paint thinner. We're going to take and shake off the excess. Yeah, beat the devil out of it. Maybe I should, play with the plastic spaceships.